reliable historical foundation, as we have mentioned in several past episodes. The so-called African blood is almost always Indian blood. There is no documented evidence in the transatlantic slave trade that could account for the overall population of so-called blacks in the South. This is the biggest hole in their African theory. How did all of these Africans arrive into the Deep South? Through what port did they arrive? New Orleans? Biloxi? Did they arrive in Charleston and then trek across the entire continent? What series of voyages recorded in the transatlantic slave trade database documents the over 4 million blacks in the South originating from Africa? These are just a few questions we will attempt to answer. Conditions for colored people in the South were always highlighted by a myriad of government and private schemes looking to steal indigenous land. This ultimately led to the skepticism Americans had in dealing with the government, which is also a primary reason why some indigenous people didn't want their children educated in the newly established Negro public schools, looking to push the agenda for black literacy. They were by and large untrusting of the government, especially in the South. But if you fast forward a couple of generations, Negroes in the North...
No. If you fast forward a couple of generations, a few generations, we still maintain that skepticism of our government with good cause. If it wasn't for it being in our DNA to distrust Uncle Sam, a lot of us Black Americans would have got that shot not too long ago. That jabby jab. That, experimental thing that wasn't really tested but was rushed to the market. And, through executive orders, they also gave the vaccine manufacturers immunity against all wrongdoing. Yeah. Black Americans were not falling for that okie doke. They tried their hardest. Oh, my God. They had all the celebrities saying, black folks, you got to get the shot. They was in our neighborhoods canvassing, they was trying to run a psyops running game, talking about we were the ones at the most risk. We got to get the shot. We said, hell nah. And with good cause, because look how many of them white folks ended up getting different reactions to the shot, getting fucked up, dying from the shot. Y'all, it was crazy. And you see, we learn from the error of our ancestors. We've got a deep distrust of Uncle Sam with good cause.
North, with Southern roots, would soon be looking for the government to enforce their civil rights. In general, this idea may be a little dangerous for the Southern Negro to petition the government for rights. Brother, what you talking about? Should I then go petition massa for a 401k and dental? A dangerous proposition for a Mississippian, fresh off the chain. However, in the South, the Klan was its own government. You've heard the legend about how black people have fought and died for their chance to vote. The popular opinion was that the Klan was actually created to suppress the black vote. The first real post-Civil War movement to re-disenfranchise colored people was this anti-voting movement inspired by the Ku Klux Klan, literally designed to subvert the Republican Party, especially the participation of so-called blacks within politics in general. At the time, the Republican Party was really the only party a so-called colored man had a chance to have a platform in. Indeed, the Klan is a political group, although some historians may push back and say that the Klan really...
Guys, terrorism. They didn't even want us to vote. So they showed up to voting polls and shot us and shit on some purge type shit. I mean, guys, if you're a long-term viewer, if you're one of the people that book a genealogy consultation with me, break bread, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal, I want you to have a little glimpse into what you're funding here. I'm a one-man media conglomerate. In a couple years, through trials and tribulations, having my channel terminated then restored, defending my platform against numerous copyright strikes, lawsuits, cease and desist letters. Guys, this is just the beginning. We just hit 30,000 subscribers. Let's go ahead and pat ourselves on the back for a moment. We're about to expand to TikTok. We're about to expand to Facebook. We're about to expand to Instagram. This is my lifelong mission, and you're along for the ride. And in my mind's eye, I see further down the road, the end goal is for me to be able to produce film and television that tells the story of our ancestors. Imagine if we got a real TV show about those Black Indians who didn't get pushed west of the Mississippi to Oklahoma, but instead got reclassified as Negro and forced as prisoners of war on concentration camps called plantations and made to work for free on their own land. And then to have the era through the Civil War and Reconstruction, and then the decision to go north or to go to Oklahoma and join in on one of the meccas, that is Greensboro, Black Wall Street. I mean, guys, these are untold stories that deserve the silver screen and the big screen. So when you book a consultation at the Cash App, at the PayPal, just know that further down the road, what we're really building to is being able to properly and accurately and sincerely tell the stories